This is the Night Wolf howling at you, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Transformers 40th Anniversary Autobot Commander Optimus Prime. This version, of course, has the animation deco on it. The front of the box is designed to look like the original box from the Transformers toys back in the 80s. On the top, we have a little quick transformation that also came on the box in the 80s. On the side, we have a product shot. I am pretty sure that everything here is recreating that old 90s look, but I don't have a 90s Optimus Prime box to show you, so. On the other side, I think that was the same picture. Yeah. Other side had the same picture. On the back, we have that classic scene that showed a bunch of the different Transformers, some of them more than once. And I don't just mean this transformation of Starscream on the side, but we've got the two Ravages. All the jets are painted like Starscream. While we do have two of the Condor tapes, it does look like they're both painted to be Laserbeak and not actually Buzzsaw and Laserbeak. And I've always assumed that this one above Bumblebee is Trailbreaker, but we also have Trailbreaker above Sunstreaker in front of Hound, and there's skids in the back too. We also have this little information card, the tech spec, although different than the original ones that came with the Transformers. Autobot Optimus Prime, Function Commander. Freedom is the right of all sentient beings. Optimus Prime is the largest, strongest, and wisest of the Autobots. Feels his role is the protector of all life, including Earth life. Surprisingly, the bottom of the box also has artwork on it. Let's go ahead and open this sucker up. We have our instruction booklet. Okay, first off, they gave us the animation accurate version of the gun, which is the thicker one. This gun actually, I want to say, made its first appearance a number of years ago when Walmart had first done their reissues of the G1 Transformers, and in that case, Optimus Prime was just the cab without the trailer, but he came with both versions of the gun, the thicker animated one and the thinner toy version. His two fists, which I think in this one we can no longer stick him in his cab. Or, I guess we can. The storage place for the fist in the children of the 90s, 80s. We have the little hose thing that you can attach to roller. And the missiles that probably aren't going to be taking off of here because in the end they probably did not put the launcher mechanism in the toy anyway, because these no longer fit the standards that allow for that. Safety standards, that is. So let's go ahead and start with the trailer. We can put the arms out like that. Turn it around. Drop the back. Open the trailer. They put no details whatsoever on the inside of this thing, which honestly is kind of a shame. Since we rarely ever saw it open, I think they could have gotten away with giving us some of the stickers. We have the launch mechanism, which is brand new for this item. I heard the previous tooling for this had been lost, so they had to recreate it. And in doing so, they actually made it a stronger launcher. Which also means that this tooling is probably a lot new too. I did not bring the original trailer with me. We still have a little spot up there for the gun if we want to put it there. Per the original version, the little drone thing rises up. The little radar disc can go up, and we have the little dial so we can spin it around. We have the little repair arm on the side. And one of the things you never really noticed as a kid was that it always sat at an angle there because These things did not actually touch the ground when they're put out. It's just meant to hold the sides up, which is something that has been missing from almost all the modern versions of the trailer that they put out. Of course, that generic, the Earthrise trailer is like the bane of my existence when it comes to Transformer toys. That trailer is so poorly designed and small, it's ridiculous. But, as mentioned, we have Roller's launcher mechanism. First off, Roller does stay in place when you have him on there. And we can really launch Roller off of that. That is awesome. The original versions of this drone arm here, you would put the missiles in here and there was a little thing to launch them on the side. But again, as mentioned before, since the size of these missiles do not meet the safety standards nowadays for toys, they do not do that. So to me, there's no point in actually taking the missiles out of that, thing. The drone also opens up so a human figure could fit in there if they had human figures. Being that these were based on Diaclone, though, you used to have the little Diaclone figure that would go there. I am pretty sure that will still fit in the trailer with the arm up, right? Or not. I was wrong. So you'll notice there are two holes in the trailer also, one at the back, one at the top. So if you want to, you can still have the functionality of this as a gunner seat when he's attached to Optimus Prime, or when the trailer's attached to Optimus Prime. You can also put it up here if you want, but that makes a heck of a lot less sense than the other way did, because you can't attach this to the trailer anymore, I believe. Yeah, you can no longer attach it to Optimus Prime. You can't get him up. You can kind of get him back. Unless the point of this is to hold the trailer up in trailer mode, there's really no point to that. Also, you can move the stands to the front there to kind of have it hold up the trailer a little bit more normal, waiting for Optimus Prime to roll into position. We already looked at how Roller can have this little gas thing on there. That does not fit in there, though. You can also put Optimus Prime's gun in there, which honestly, as a kid, I think that gun sat in Roller more often for me than it did actually in Optimus Prime's hands. But now we have the man, the myth, the legend, the G1 Optimus Prime. Now, I know this is going to be a really difficult transformation to do, so I hope I can get it right the first time. But if I don't, please forgive me. Oh, that was so difficult to do. I am glad I was able to handle it. So being that this is, though, the G1 style Prime, obviously the differences are they painted on the stripes, although they did not make the stripes go all the way through like previous stickers did. And that's because when in robot mode, they wanted the arms to be fully red like he is in his animated version. Which I guess I didn't really talk too much about how he looked in trailer or in truck mode, did I? The Mac snub nose truck. They did give us some animation accurate lines there. I think those are in the animation rather than the stickers that he had previously. He has still got die-cast parts on him, which is probably why he cost as much as he did. He was like around $7 or $80. They painted his legs white. It looks like. instead of being just plastic. In fact, I would say, based on what I'm looking at here, that his legs were actually molded in the same blue, possibly as his everything below the knee, and that it's painted white because there's kind of a bluish tint in there inside, which I don't know why they didn't just. Well, okay, I do know why. Probably that's in the mold, and the original version of Prime had the vac metal on the legs. Um, God, my brain is not working today. The grill, the bumper, and the fuel cans on the side, and the smokestacks. So those are all probably in the molds with the different colors. Actually, they probably all. I think they were all in the blue too, because if you've got an original Optimus Prime, you've probably got the vac metal coming off of the smokestacks. What's nice here though is that he's got the full size smokestacks, because a lot of the Optimus Primes, when they reissued them previously over the years, they cut the stacks in half because, again, it was considered a hazard because they could break off and it could swallow them. His window also has kind of a bluish tint to it, and I think the original one had just kind of a smoked tint. Articulation wise, nothing moves on the head, although because of the transformation, you can get him to look up if you want, but it is kind of an awkward look. His hand can spin around, or his arm can spin all the way around, and use the transformation joint to kind of make it look like a pseudo butterfly joint. The elbow does allow it to spin all around, and of course we have a 90-degree hinge. And that joint is metal with a spring load in it. Because the fist just pegs into there, though, we can spin that around, and it can fall off. No waist joint, no ab crunch. He can kick back really far, but that's because of transformation. He does have a knee bend. Although I do want to say that, like, on my G1 that I have, that was mostly fused for most of its life, so it never actually moved. And I guess you could say we do have a foot hinge, again, for transformation. The one thing that kind of trips me out a bit is I keep on thinking back. I don't remember his feet having the gray on them in the cartoon. I could be wrong, mind you, but I just don't remember that. I thought his feet were totally blue. And of course, we can stick his animation accurate blaster in his hand. I want to go back to the trailer for a moment, however. The one complaint that I've heard from a lot of people talking about this, none of the reviewers, though, although it's often mentioned by the reviewers, what was it, the 80-pound gorilla in the room kind of comments. Because there's no sticker covering the side here, like in the previous versions, you can see the screws on the trailer for holding the items inside in place. 2 on this side, 1 on this side. It is kind of annoying. I mean, it does hurt the look overall of the trailer, but it can't really be helped. Although, let's be perfectly honest, they probably could have, since we are already having to manufacture some new parts for this anyway, meaning the launcher mechanism. Oh, I think there's actually some grease in there. That's interesting. I kind of wonder if they could have just redone the sides of the trailer too, so that they kind of like, so these plugged in there, maybe even got glued in there, so we didn't have to worry about that. But overall, I just feel like that's just a minor complaint and not a big deal. Most rollers in the American release were blue, like the rest of that, not silver. And I don't know what the difference was back in the day. I don't even know for sure if the silver one actually was released in the American market or if that was just a holdover from the Diaclone days. That transformation really does take a lot out of you. So as mentioned before, though, now that he's in his truck mode, The striping does not go all the way back anymore. I think they should have at least gone to this second section here. Sorry, I think I had my finger over it. I think they should have just gone ahead and gone and hit the second section because that's just on the side anyway. So there's really no reason for them to have missed that part. Like, I understand, again, this part's not painted because it's his forearm or it's part of his bicep in robot mode, and he did not have that in the cartoon, and they're going for the cartoon accurate robot mode. I mean, after all, in truck mode, his bumper was not white, when he transformed. I do like the metallic paints that they did for the silver, though, and they even hit the rims on the thing. We also do have real rubber tires, meaning as long as he's properly transformed, he rolls pretty good. Because everything is pinned on also. The only issue, back wheels roll perfectly fine. The pins on, or the way they got them pinned on here, though, is a bit tight. And I feel like, unlike so many modern Transformer truck toys with the trailers, all of the wheels will spin when you are rolling it. Where almost every time with the modern Transformers with trailers, some of the wheels are like not sitting on the ground and they don't roll with everything. Anyway, this will conclude our look at the Anniversary Walmart exclusive animation colored Optimus Prime. I hope you enjoyed this look at him. If you don't have this version of Optimus Prime in your collection, I say go for it. It is kind of interesting, though, to note that he is not really that much cheaper than the Missing Link one. At least, I should say, because I ordered mine from Japan. I think it had been $110 plus shipping. And I think the American release is like $150, which I believe the Missing Link one is still available on Hasbro's website, or the Pulse website. So if you want an Optimus Prime for your collection, honestly, I would say go for the Missing Link version. But if you do want the G1 style, you ain't going to go wrong with this. Plus, he does have the launcher, where the Missing Link one does not. And, in case you were wondering, which you probably weren't, the launching mechanism still works in trailer mode. So let me know what you think of the animated version of Optimus Prime. I think this is a great figure. I do kind of a little bit upset, though, that these smokestacks don't spin, because the way I always store my G1 Prime is I turn the smokestacks in so they don't break, and then I slide them into the trailer to keep them safe so they don't break. You can't do that with this one, apparently, because it does look like, again, they did something here to keep the smokestacks from being able to spin. Probably, again, a safety feature so that they don't break off. But it does leave it a little bit wanting on the whole trying to store them in the trailer thing. So keep your box. Thanks for watching. If you would like to subscribe, that would be great. If you want some notifications, that would also be good. This was one of those rare times when I had no problems transforming the Transformer. And man, those G1 ones were really difficult. Okay, I'm being kind of sarcastic there, I know. But actually, there are some of those G1 ones that were kind of a pain in the ass to try to transform too. Not many of them, but some of them. Peace and love.